Hello to all Conspiracy Kyle subscribers and regular viewers alike. Welcome to our channel's first Top 10s video. On this channel, you will find anything metaphysical and paranormal, all sorts of strange stories, so please feel free to like the video if you like it, comment to let us know how we're doing, subscribe to the channel if you like what we consistently share. This will be brief, but as for Portland, Oregon, a group of girls decide to dress up as witches around Halloween and go paddleboarding instead of broomstick riding. Very fascinating event to be going to, something I'd probably be interested in, but being where I live, it's probably freezing cold water, so I would say probably never mind. And on to the more entertaining ones, the witch house. So, another Oregon story. Legend has it that this was an abandoned witch house in the middle of the woods. Back in 1850, the family that had lived there had a caretaker that fell for the 15-year-old daughter. They eloped eventually, and this prompted the father to shoot and kill the son-in-law. Continues that the daughter was forced to live in the house with the husband's body buried under the grounds. Yeah. Creepy. So, this being why it's considered the haunted house, and apparently the rage that she had from that turned her into a real-life witch. So they say. So, anyway, moving on to Arizona witches. Now, this one is more verified. A news story tells of not one witch, but I guess several witches. A church in Arizona, a sacred spiral pagan church headed by Rosemary Lackey. She goes over the sacred relics they use. She continues about spells and her cultural beliefs and some things about, I guess, Satan himself. She strongly encourages herself as proof that witchcraft is nothing to fear. Witchcraft for beginners is next. Well, this is a very fascinating topic, if nothing else. Whatever your feelings may be. Yes, I'm still very new at editing. And going through our fun slides until we get to the next slide, Witchcraft for Beginners. You can quite literally find anything online, to include that if you're about to begin the pagan practice. This lady's name is Caroline Genovese. I might be butchering that name, I hope not. She works out of Sedona, Arizona, and she mentions broomsticks in this video, among many videos she has. This is one of the real-life practitioners. Maybe no pointed hat, but a witch even still. Only a minute and a half, but she goes over the different aspects of the tool in her culture and riding it. Supposedly, she claims not to actually ride it around town, though. I mean, who really knows? There's so many different theories and updates now to the modern world of witchcraft and what Hollywood teaches. I kind of imagine that that's gotta come from somewhere, so I have no idea. But meanwhile, though, if you were thinking of at least educating yourself of the craft, then be sure to look up her channel. Now we're on to Cindy the Wiccan. According to experts, Wicca and witchcraft are not exclusively interchangeable, and there are some differences. Wiccans supposedly don't practice magic. The primary difference between the two. Cindy says she identifies as a witch as well, however. At a young age, she was encouraged to study many religions. She did this before settling on witchcraft, and says she likes predominantly that Wiccans are all about nature, and she calls it the key, explaining that some Wiccans are also indeed witches, which she also identifies with, and says that spellcasting rituals are similar to prayers. I've heard the same thing down the line. Not quite sure how I feel about this one, but nonetheless, it's something to look at if you're interested in that kind of thing. So, if you are interested in this channel, then please do comment, like, and subscribe. And yes, I am very new at editing, so I am trying to keep up with these slides. Not doing the greatest job, but I'm getting better, so please bear with me. Anyway, moving on to Mexican flying witches. Slow build up to the more traditional culture-based ideas of witches, and moving on to my notes. So, the home of many UFO and alien sightings, Mexico. This time seems to be flying witches, like I said. This footage was shot at Monterey, where a policeman claims to see these images, many through the sky over a graveyard around Halloween. Everything's always around Halloween. In a remote village. Another officer was actually hospitalized from an attack. He claims it was a black-eyed woman wearing a pointed hat. Sounds like a witch, but I don't know. Maybe they were just sleeping on the job. Who knows? If you have any sort of ideas on that, then comment below. And now we're into Scotland, where no one knows why she's here or makes such deliberate movements, but some suggest it looks to be spellcasting. I have no clue. This looks like a weird version of, I don't know, goat yoga or something like that to me, so if you have any thoughts on this, I don't know, it looks like, I don't know, maybe she's got some sort of a mental disorder. I'd honestly like to see more of this video because that footage just doesn't make sense to me. But that's what we have to work with. So, once again, like, subscribe, and please bear with me. Please bear with me on this. Remote road. So, this woman, or humanoid creature, on a remote road in the middle of the night. The driver has to slow down to avoid hitting her, and the car stopped but still filming while he gets chased after by this thing. So it seems to begin catching up, and you can even hear strange noises from the original footage. The driver doesn't want to leave this person behind in the middle of the night, but it also doesn't quite seem like your average person. Possibly another mentally disturbed, or possibly a ghost, possibly, who knows, a witch. Who knows what's going on here. This is very, very weird. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I mean, could be staged, I guess. I don't really think it is, but you never know. Who knows? Maybe it's even from a movie. I have no clue. It's something that if it were happening to me, I'd just be driving off. Well, probably. I might try to help the person, but who knows. Anyway, so, as we continue moving on to the shamans. If the slides will move with me. I get nothing left to say. There we go. African shaman who lifts off the ground. And continuing on, please comment on what you would like more footage about, because it helps me to look online for some things that you might be interested in seeing. Anyway, as for this journalist, who I believe it was back in the 70s, and he was from Germany, went to Africa to study shamanism, and witchcraft have many similar characteristics, specifically shamanism he was looking for. But the sacred ritual, people are around this man, and they start chanting as a ring of fire surrounds him. During the chants, the shaman lifts off the ground, levitating midair momentarily until he returns back to the ground, and did this many, many times. Unfortunately, once the reporter brought the footage back home, he was pretty much outcast and a joke to the broadcasting world. Around that era, he was trying to educate others about this, and it was just risky, probably not very well advised. Maintains that the footage is real, it's not doctored. Who knows? Honestly, back in those days, I'd probably believe it. I don't really know what to make of this. One of those weird things that happens. Anyway, so, as for the witch prison we are going to get to after my beautiful slides continue on, because I enjoy showing cool slides. So, final video. And by the way, thank you so much again for staying until the end. So, in this prison, this was where they would take women convicted of witchcraft and, I don't know, sentence them to death, or they would just die there. I'm not exactly positive. But anyway, the researchers who were there, they were conducting some sort of a seance, and this one particular woman's face was just all disproportionate during it. Her eyes go glowing, her nose comes out, and her face kind of looks like, her mouth kind of looks like the Joker. And supposedly after this event, she starts having nightmares, and her house has strange occurrences, and multiple people that are involved in this also experienced similar conditions when they got back home. So this is the last video. My cool slides. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed.